everywhere.
It's heartbreaking when we see these incidences. We do not need to see infants dying at the hands of irresponsibility.
Two parents are facing a charge of manslaughter after Winnipeg police say they waited for hours before calling for help after their one-year-old child was exposed and later died from fentanyl intoxication. Police arresting Winnipeg residents 38-year-old Gary Daniel Adrian Bruce and 37-year-old Sabrina Faye Boulette Friday and charging them with manslaughter in connection to the death of one-year-old Hannah Boulette. Police allege a man called 911 on March 23rd after his child was unresponsive. Paramedics performed CPR on the child, but the one-year-old girl was later pronounced dead in hospital.
Through their investigation, investigators determined that both parents were not forthcoming with details of the incident and were present and had been aware of Anna's fentanyl exposure before later calling emergency.
The male parent was charged with possessing a controlled substance after officers found what they say is a small amount of fentanyl on him.
They knew that the child was in distress at the time and could have called 911 prior to when they did.
According to University of Waterloo professor Michael Baisley, fentanyl is not easily absorbed and therefore interaction with it via contact such as the skin will most likely not result in an overdose.
Most of the time you can get absorption through ingestion, exposure to basically mucous membrane. So that would be eyes, in the nasal cavity, or in the mouth.
Police say both parents are known to police. According to court records, Bruce faced several charges over the last few years, including one dating back to March 3rd, 2010, where he faced a possession for the purpose of trafficking charge. Police say the parents remain in custody in relation to this incident.
Very recently, I believe it was in beginning of January, we actually had a child ingested fentanyl incident that we reported on. In that particular case, again, it was in a household, and that child was a 2-year-old male. And same thing, ingestion of fentanyl that was readily accessible.
You know, the best way to prevent that is to make sure that if you're using any unregulated opioid, or if you're using regulated prescription opioids, you know, to keep them safe, out of sight, and securely stored.
In Winnipeg, Edward Jan, City News.